Hi, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mayor Billy Knight. It is time for our River City Chat. Well, the election is over, and I've kind of waited around to give some space between the election and now, because I know how a lot of people are discouraged and they're unhappy about the results of the election. And on the other side, people are really excited and enjoying the winning that they had during the election. And I just want to talk about that because, it reminds me of the time when I was coaching football and basketball, when we came out of a game that we thought we should have won, and many times our kids would come back and in the dressing room and they would be discouraged, and they would always, sometimes they would say that the referees or the officials cheated. They didn't treat us fair. We should have won that ball game, And I would say, no, I don't want to hear that. I do not want to hear that. In the game tonight, the other team were better prepared. They had a better game plan. They executed their plan, and they beat us. So what we have to do now is think about the game, evaluate what happened, get out there and practice next week and practice so that the next time we get on that field, we can be a better team. So we just have to decide, what do we do wrong? What can we do better? And the next time, we hope that we can win. So that's where we are. I know people are unhappy, but it is what it is. We lost, the Democratic Party lost, the Republican won. So now we work together. The hard truth is, the people of this country have spoken. And I would also tell our kids that we have to be a gracious loser. Go over and shake the other team's hand and hope that we be better the next time. Be a gracious loser. Because the hard truth is, again, that the majority of the people of this country, over 70 million people, said they prefer President Trump-elect Trump policy, his behavior. They liked it better than they did Vice President Kamala Harris. You remember now, the majority of the people in this country said they liked President-elect Trump's behavior, and they liked what he says policy was going to be better than they liked Vice President Kamala Harris. Majority of the people said that. So we have to accept that. If we believe in our Constitution and the majority rules, he won the Electoral College and he won the popular vote. If we believe in that, then the people have spoken. And talking about the democracy, Benjamin Franklin, when they was talking about the Constitution in terms of democracy, he said, he calls it a republic. He says a republic is a republic if we can keep it. He says a republic is a republic if we can keep it. Otherwise, this is a democracy if we can keep it. So we'll find out in the next 4 years whether or not we can keep this democracy that we have, or this republic that Benjamin Franklin talked about. Because after all, now remember, this is like a 240-some year experiment that we've been going through with this democracy thing. We have some setbacks, we go forward, and we think we're making some progress, then we have to bounce back. We go forward, sometimes we take 2 steps back for a little while. This is an experiment, ladies and gentlemen, that we've been going through now for over 240 years. And sometimes we don't think we make the kind of progress that we think we're making. We don't see it realized in some cases. But that's where we are now. So the majority of the people have spoken. That they prefer President-elect Donald Trump's policies his behavior, all the things he was saying, they said, that's okay. We accept that. But there's consequences in the election. Election has consequences. So now we're beginning to see what some of those consequences are of this election. We now see some of the cabinet appointments that are being made by the president-elect. And a lot of people up in arms about these appointments that he's making. Well, that's the consequences of the election. And he did not hide none of this. He told us what he was going to do. And the majority of the people said, that's what we want. And now he's giving it to you. And we have to learn to accept that. And we got to live with it for the next 4 years, because that's what we said we wanted. This is who we are, ladies and gentlemen. And I said, do you remember I said that this election will say more about us, the voter, than it would the two people that was at the top of the ticket? Remember I said that? This election is going to tell us more about us, the electorate, the people that's voting, than it would the people at the top. So this is who we are. The majority of the people have spoken. This is who we are. And we have to accept that. But the other good part of it is that whatever cabinet the president-elect chooses to run this country with him and to set these policies, everybody got to live under those policies. Whether you're a Democrat or whether you're a Republican, whatever these new policies are, whoever the leaders are in his cabinet, we all have to abide and live by whatever these policies are. There's no separation. Everybody going to have to live under these policies. That's another part of the consequences. So just keep in mind now that we can change people's minds sometime, but we can't change their hearts. We can change people's minds sometime, but we cannot change what's in their heart. So our work is not over. We got a lot of work to do. And right here in Moss Point, you remember, Tip O'Neill said a long time ago that all politics are local. All politics is local. What does that mean? That means that everything that happens on the national level, it starts on the local level. The people on the national level are doing what is said to be needed on the local level. So the people on the local level have to really decide what is that we need to provide services for our people. Moss Point, I'm working every day to get Moss Point in a position to provide the basic services that all of our people need. So I want all of you, Moss Point, to join me in that. Let's get hand in hand, forget about this national politics. All politics is local. We got to work together with each other. We see each other every day, either grocery stores or in our churches or walking down the street, in community activities. We see each other daily. We have to live with each other every day. And we have to make Moss Point function as it should as a people. I say we're all in this together. Well, we really are all in this together. And if we're going to make Moss Point the best it can be, we all have to work together to make that happen. Forget about this national stuff. But we're right here in Moss Point. All politics is local. It starts right here in Moss Point with each one of us doing what we can individually to make Moss Point the best it can be. So I want us to work together to do that. We're all in this together. We've always been in this together, and nothing has changed that, regardless of what happens on the national level. So let's continue our work here in Moss Point, but this is what I also tell my family. I talk to my kids about life and politics, but we talk more about being a good citizen doing our civic duty every day. Regardless of all that talk that you heard on a national level, there are some principles that you should not abandon. That is, morality is always important. Character does count. Integrity is very important. And the truth matters. You got to always remember that, Moss Point. Morality is important. Character does count. Integrity is important. And the truth does matter. Let's not forget that, Moss Point. So, our work is still out here to be done to make Moss Point the best it can be. I want us all to work together because we know it's always a struggle. We know things don't always go our way. And we have to accept those things as they are, as they come, because sometimes there's nothing we can do about it. So we have to always remember that and always keep in mind that we're going to work towards making things better. We can't give up. We can't quit. We cannot quit. And we have to always realize that things are better when we work together. Frederick Douglass said, if there's no struggle, there's no progress. We have to expect to have some struggles. If there's no struggle, there's no progress. And we have to expect to struggle sometime. We don't want to, but we have to expect it. And when you get knocked down, you get back up. That's a sign of good character. When you get knocked down, you get back up. That's a sign of good character. If there's no struggle, there will be no progress. So Moss Point, let's work together. We're all in this together. Just don't worry about what happened on the national level. Let's keep our head down right here in Moss Point. Let's all work together to make our city the best that it can be. And I know each one of you can do that because every one of you care about Moss Point. And we're not going to quit. We're going to keep believing. We're going to keep believing that Moss Point can be one of the best cities in the state of Mississippi, if not the whole country. Because we're going to be a group of people that always are working together to that end. So let's keep believing, Moss Point. Have a good day.